It's another marvelous Monday, which means it's time for the Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage. I'm in a little bit of a better mood today.
Nice announcement.
Yeah, that was a rough.
For now.
We were coming off of a rough.
Oh, that's right. The car incident.
Travel and then the loss and all of that. But guess what? I'm not even going to wait to introduce these guys. I'm not going to wait to tease anything. The boys are coming back. So how can you not be excited? Not them. Not you two. No. I'm talking about the basketball guys.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. Yes.
It's
The
not
boys are back in town. The boys
Zach
are back in
Cleveland,
town. The
Colin
boys
Porter.
are back in town.
Run it back.
Run it back. The boys are back in town.
The Last Dance.
I'm so excited.
Edition.
We still don't know about Moffmer and Peter, right? I mean, is that
we've been told they're examining every possible opportunity or option. I would say probably doubtful. I would say probably. We don't know. Who knows? These days in the NCAA, Diego Pavia, he's going to be playing college football when my kids are in college. So, who even knows? So, but yes, I would say that's probably accurate at this point.
Yeah, so we'll talk about what that means for the Flames moving forward. We'll get a little bracket update on how everyone's brackets are doing. Did you fill out a bracket? We were trying.
I did.
I can't find it.
We can't find yours.
That's ridiculous.
Joe likes to do one after the fact.
I was filling out brackets all over the place.
He waits till it's done and he's like, let me show it. I'll get it to you after the championship.
He's going to show up with like a paper one. Like, look, this is which one I did. And it's going to be like 98%.
I did have Florida winning it.
Okay.
I did have Florida.
So does him.
So I will submit one of my other brackets into this bracket. Then you just got to calculate it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do that on our free time. We also have KK Madrey on the podcast, softball star and stud. Very confident. Like, KK is going to change the word confidence to start with the K. Double K.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She has reason to be. If you've watched her play,
she is
absolute star.
She is a stud.
Well, they better crank it up against Virginia Tech. That's all I'm going to say.
We'll discuss all of that. We also have some information about the women's basketball players who are in the portal. Yeah. Matt purposely did not tell me who it is before, so I'm a little nervous.
I want your real life reaction.
You still don't know?
I don't know. I told him not to tell me, and then we'll talk about a little baseball mix-up that happened this weekend. But let's start with the boys coming back. Matheny, Porter, they're BFFs, and Zach Cleveland. Word on the street is Zach Cleveland went on the Players Lounge. He was like, this was life-changing. I think I have to do this again next year at March Madness.
Yeah. I mean,
so really it's Matt Warner
I don't want to take all the credit because Zach, he's the one that actually is on the court, right? So I think let's just call it 50-50 if you want to do that. But glad that we can make a life, changing difference for him and keep him around because I do think, he's got a lot of talent. So
it's all about having an impact, man.
Right.
That's
all I'm trying to do.
That's what Matt Warner does.
So glad we could help out. But no, you get those three back. That's huge. And
why is that so big?
Let me tell you why that's so big. You take a look around Conference USA and what's happening in this league right now. It is a mess.
It's
absolute
upheaval.
Mess. Here's what I've done, Joe.
Upheaval.
Here's what I've done. Just to try to keep track of this, I created, and I am not a spreadsheet guy.
No,
I am not a spreadsheet guy.
An Excel spreadsheet?
I created a spreadsheet tracking all the transfers in Conference USA. One easy
I was
document.
wondering why.
Let me know. I'll shoot it to you. No big deal.
Let him roll with this.
Yeah.
Go.
Let me tell you this. So, hey.
Tell us what you got.
Can I bring this full screen?
I mean,
do you
we
really
could.
have this?
I do. You pick a team. Oh, I don't know. How about UTEP? UTEP has, I believe it is, 8 of their top 9 scorers from this past year either graduated or portal. Their roster is gone. Portal. Just like that, gone. FIU, you go the same way. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 8 guys.
Portal.
And again, almost all of their starting, starters and top scorers gone.
Gone.
Louisiana Tech, they have they already had Daniel Bacho graduating. Basically everybody else. Portal.
Walking portal.
Western Kentucky, we said,
they've
had all these injuries, but they'll get all these guys back.
No.
Yeah, maybe not. They have guys that probably average, looking at right now, almost 50 points per game combined. Portal.
Welcome to Portal Town.
It's Portal Town. Population CUSA. But you look at, like, here's first team conference, first team All-CUSA, right? You have Woolley from Kennesaw State, freshman of the year, portal.
Really?
Portal. Mustafa graduated. Bacho graduated. Sam Houston's Lamar Wilkerson, second best player in this league, probably. Some would say maybe the first.
Yep.
Portal.
Yep.
Dron Pierre, not in the portal yet from Jacksonville State. That is as big a surprise as some of the guys that have gone in. We'll see if that holds up.
Is he eligible to go to the draft?
He does. Well, he could go to the draft, but he has 1 year left if he wants to take it in college.
Okay.
So we'll see what he elects to do. But you go second team even. Justin Porter, Middle Tennessee. Portal. Otis Frazier graduated. Don McHenry, Western Kentucky. Portal. It's just unbelievable. Third
That's
team.
not a tunnel. That's a portal.
It's a portal. Sean Newman from Louisiana Tech, third team. Portal. It's unbelievable. In fact, if you go the top.
Where are they going?
Well, that's going to be the question.
That's what I like. I get it.
But
These are talented players.
Yeah.
And a lot of them could, not a lot. I say some of them could move up to the next level.
That will be the interesting part.
But it's just like, where, how many people are in the portal?
Okay,
and where are you
hold
going?
on.
Listen.
Here's the most ridiculous part of the whole thing is that here's what guys do, and who could blame them, right? Go in the portal, fish around, see what's out there, right? And then what else is happening while that's going on? Your coach and the coaches, what are they doing? They're going into the portal to see what they can get, right? So everybody just hops out in there, and then you just sort it out and figure out what it's going to do. But if you're a kid, why not go into the portal?
Well, here's the thing,
Portal
too.
town.
It basically it feels like any mid-major, low-major player that average double-digit points, they all just go in and see what they can get. But what you will see sometimes is, I'm interested to track this as well, which if, for $4.99, I'll send you my spreadsheet.
And a mug.
FlameCentral@liberty.edu. Send me an email. But I'm keeping track of the date they go in, too, because I want to know, like some guys,
this is a spreadsheet.
Lamar Wilkerson last year with Sam Houston went in. So same with Justin Porter at Western or at Middle Tennessee. Went in after fishing around a little bit. They're like, you know what? I'm better off going back to where I started, and they went back. So I am curious to see if you get some of that because you're right. Right now, it's such a flood, and there may be coaching staffs that are looking in the portal. They're like, well, we can't do better than this guy. And that guy may be looking in the portal going, I mean, I have a prominent role already here. I'm not for sure I'm going to get that someplace else. Hey, what do you say we just kind of work this out?
I don't know if the player is thinking that as much, because I think the player thinks I will have a bigger role or still have this role at a bigger school.
Or maybe they just don't get the school's calling that they hope for.
Right, and a lot of them I don't think realize that they wouldn't have that kind of role.
And that they're in a good spot maybe where they are.
Bunch of toe dippers.
It's true. You just
dip your toe dippers.
It is. But that's
just a little toe dipper.
But that's what you get with basically free agency every single year. This is what you get, because if you're a player, you're like just like if it were this set up in professional sports, you would get the exact same thing.
100%.
Every guy would do the Aaron Rodgers and just take as long as he needs to see who else might start bidding and trying to get, you know what I mean? Like,
that's just
why wouldn't you?
How do you build like a legit team and like chemistry with that?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some guidelines, but for now, you look at Louisiana Tech, you look at UTEP, you look at FIU, even Western Kentucky, and it's like, man, I feel bad for those coaching staffs because some of those you have to legitimately rebuild an entire starting five, your entire roster. You're starting from scratch. It's like you just started the program. It's crazy. Well, so all that to say, Liberty is in a great spot. You had Caillou, Bryson Spell, Will Gibson all go in the portal. Love all those guys. Great kids. Hope they get great opportunities, but didn't play meaningful minutes. So Liberty bringing back what they're bringing back, assuming your other guys that we're not even talking about, like your Aquino and Brett Decker and those guys stick around, you're having a very good core that is ahead of, I would say, assuming Jack State does lose Dron Pierre, which they may or may not. If they keep him, that changes things. But Liberty is at or ahead of everyone else in this league right now, just because they haven't had the departures everyone else has.
And that just speaks to what you said last week about Coach McKay and this staff and what they do building this culture in such a chaotic, world of college basketball, that clearly they're doing something right,
and
that they're keeping their core.
It'll be fun to see. We have that core. What are they able to add?
Right.
What are they able to dip into the portal? They've got some talented freshmen coming in. Are they able to find one or two pieces that suddenly make this team even that much better?
And it's crazy that you can go within your own conference and pick.
Yeah.
It's a kid you're competing against last year. All of a sudden on your team.
It's true.
Like, it's
yeah, but
insane.
you know, this coaching staff is very, very picky in terms of who
For
they
sure.
add to their
For sure.
culture.
We've
and their
heard just
program.
behind the scenes stuff about very talented players that they're like, oh yeah, I mean,
Would
he
want to play
would
for
want to
Liberty.
play here, but they've passed on because they're like, this just isn't a Liberty fit, and that's what you're supposed to be about if you're here.
Right.
That's the way you're supposed to run your program. Liberty has, and obviously they haven't sacrificed wins over the last decade with Richie McKay in doing that.
Right. Awesome. Well, I'm excited that the guys are coming back. On the other hand, Matt, I'm in a good mood.
All right.
I'm really nervous about
Women.
the women who are in the portal.
So yeah, the women's game, I have no spreadsheet. I'll just say that. Haven't kept up with it as much. But found out through some posts on social media that were put out this week, so this is out there, public knowledge. Emily Howard, who was hurt this past year, the big who went down with injury, which allowed Amy Stout to stop redshirting, says she's going in the portal. Brooke Moore is going in the portal, who was one, prominent role off the bench, really athletic, was out all last year with a broken leg. She's going in, and Peen Steenbergen is going in as well. Same thing. She missed all of last year with injury, played really well off the bench for them this year.
Surprising.
So those three are going in. So obviously we don't know any of the details about that, but those are the three that have publicly announced they're going in the portal from women's basketball.
Smuda Matata's done, right?
She's done.
Smuda, done.
Hess, Hodges, the big three, all out of eligibility.
Harry Green's got his hands full. He's in it.
Thankfully, you had some of those freshmen like Stout that have really shown themselves to be something. So hopefully they can kind of move into that.
And another coaching staff who in the past has had no problem rebuilding the roster.
Sure.
I mean, there was, what was it, really the last couple years, we thought it would, be more rebuilding years, and look what they've done.
Right.
And now that they got over that hump of beating Middle Tennessee, I think that's just a game changer.
And they lose a lot as well. So so who knows? Like on the women's side, obviously I'm not as know all the ins and outs of that, but I think it'll be a much different conference season next year with a lot of new faces.
Man, basketball season's crazy.
It's all crazy,
Emily. It's all crazy. It's all crazy. And I guess, is the portal open for football? I don't even know.
Crazy talk.
I don't know if the portal reopens till a little bit later.
I think it
feel
does.
like
summer,
because there is going to be a wave coming after spring ball finishes around the country. Whoa, take it easy. All right.
Sorry.
But yes, I think it reopens. I meant to look that up.
Wild.
But so get ready for that to crank up again. And who
I
knows?
can't keep track.
Yeah.
I'm glad Matt Warner has the Excel spreadsheet.
I know.
So if you
and
like
you
that,
could too. $3.99.
$3.99.
If you call today. If you call today.
If you call today,
I'll give you a special
email.
Friends of the Program deal. Yeah.
Another Friends of the Program deal you can take advantage of is with Alcova Mortgage. The market is heating up.
Yeah.
Spring is here.
Yeah,
I know you've seen the beautiful trees around.
They're blooming.
Another beautiful person that you could be working with is Yawk Talk, baby.
Cherry blossoms are blooming, and so
Are those cherry
makes
blossoms?
me think of Joe.
the cherry blossoms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought that was only in Japan.
No, there's there too. They do. They
you
have
got to
them
go
as
to
well.
Washington D.C. and see the cherry blossoms
yeah.
in the spring.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah, I have nothing going on, so
Yeah.
I should make a trip go.
She doesn't travel domestically.
Hey, that was good. She's only an international traveler. She's getting ready to spin her. She's getting ready to spin her drink.
Oh my gosh, that was funny.
All you gotta do is go to alcova.com/Liberty. It's almost too easy. Go there, save up to $5,000. This is stuff that if you're looking purchase refinance, you gotta do it. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. So make it happen. Make something great happen. And alcova.com/Liberty. Check it out. It's all there on the website, and you'll be able to save up to $5,000 potentially.
Awesome.
Real quick answer on your previous question. April 16th to 25th is the football spring portal window.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Got a couple of weeks to get geared up before that all starts.
And then it goes into the hands of Chad Scott, strength and conditioning for this summer program.
Right.
We do need to have Coach Scott on. We
do.
haven't had him on in
been
a
a
while. And then maybe we'll get Coach Chadwell on too to talk a little football, because we didn't have him on during spring ball because they do it in January.
Yeah, well, it's right. Basketball was cooking. There was a lot happening.
No, I'm just messing. Okay, we'll get to this interview with KK Madrey in just a second, but we want to discuss the baseball mix-up that you may have seen on the New York Post.
Boy.
Did they have it on there?
Oh, yeah. It was everywhere. It was
wow, I didn't know that.
all over social media.
I saw all of that.
So, yeah, I did see it across the New York Post.
Well,
this
explain
morning.
to the folks what
So-
happened.
Do you subscribe to the New York
No,
Post?
it's Instagram.
Do you get on your doorstep?
I think me talking about it. Yes.
Thumbing through the.
No, I think that's the last newspaper.
You fold it over and then.
Yeah.
When was the last time you read
I get a newspaper. It comes to my house. Yeah. Well, it comes twice a month.
Okay.
Oh, I was like,
Wow, twice a month. That's the phone book.
It's a
Joe.
national.
Yeah, that's not the newspaper. That's the phone book.
It's a national newspaper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I sit there with my Flame Central podcast mug.
Yeah.
In the what we now call we turn the sunroom into the conversation area.
Oh, wow.
Right?
The sunroom has turned into the conversation.
That's
Dean and I sit there and we have our coffee in the morning, and then we'll.
Oh, that's so sweet.
We'll pull up the Epic Times and have a little.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, good.
That is
It's
really
good.
sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a sweet kind of guy.
Yeah, I need a conversation room with Jason. I'll have
He's
that.
trying. Yeah,
Tell him.
yeah. I don't know. Does he agree with that? Yeah.
So here's what the baseball mix-up was. So apparently there's a travel roster that needs to be submitted at the beginning of a series when a team is going on the road. That is a 27-man roster. Well, Ben Blair was accidentally left off of that travel roster.
Oh!
And thanks for the side.
A little Homer Simpson.
So he was left off that roster. He threw one pitch in the second game of the series at Jack State. Jack State, correct?
Yep.
And the Jack State coaching staff came out and said he's not on the travel roster. And according to CUSA in the rule book,
Illegal player.
It's an illegal player, so you have to forfeit the game. Ends up being like a 9-0 score. I don't know why it's a 9-0 score. I didn't really look into that.
9-0.
You have a lot of people commenting on this because it is all over the place on social media. And some Jack State fans, which I found was interesting. Some of the comments that they wrote were that this is such an unclassy move.
Amen.
That's not sportsmanship.
Amen.
I'm embarrassed. That's a Bush League move.
Amen.
So I don't know what your thoughts are on the mix-up. It's obviously an accident.
Right.
But Matt, you mentioned before, I would prefer it to happen this way than Ben Blair go out there, throw the 6 shutout innings, and then them call for this rule. So
I think what gets me, and I don't know, I've heard kind of some different things and talking to folks that maybe not every conference has a forfeiture as the punishment.
Yeah, that's
for.
a little heavy.
that is so heavy.
It's way too heavy.
I would say like the spirit of the rule, right? I think that's what a lot of times people lose that. They just go, well, black and white, this, but what's the spirit of the rule? Like one pitch, like you just bring some, okay, that's fine. Mistake, whatever. Goes out, he's done. You got to bring somebody else in.
Right.
If it had been 7 shutout innings, right, and then you're like, hold up, then I could see where you go, well, okay, we're not just going to let him bring somebody else in at this point. That would be a forfeiture because he had such a massive effect on the game for the majority of the game. But one pitch, I feel like that's a really extreme punishment for the if you want to call it the crime of throwing a single pitch. Like, just,
we would
you're
say
done,
the same
gotta
thing
bring
about a
somebody else.
Jack State player.
Sure, that's just an
this
extreme.
is not just like a Liberty-sided
That's an extreme thing. The other thing I saw that was kind of just shows you how little people actually like know or look into this stuff. It was all these people being like, oh, Liberty using illegal players, blah, blah, blah. Like acting like Liberty picked somebody up off
From
a
the big
AA
leagues.
squad.
Yeah, exactly.
And just like tried to sneak them in there. They gained no advantage from this. It was just a mix-up. Like, it was just a clerical error, if you want to call it that. And so, frustrating, certainly. And then Liberty went on to lose the third game, and tempers flared a little bit in that one. So, frustrating situation, certainly. But it wasn't like some sort of underhanded, like they were trying to gain some advantage by bending a rule or trying to. It was just a mix-up.
Like Mason Fluharty is not back on the Flames roster.
It was just a mix-up. And unfortunately, it burned the Flames here, and they're now 2-4 in conference play.
I mean, that to me is like just totally Bush League. Like, come on, like let's go ahead and you could really crank up the bleep machine for this, but we're not going to do that.
Let's not make us do
That's
that. Don't
not
make
the
us do
Liberty
that.
way either.
That's
Don't
not the
make us
Liberty
do
way
that.
either. We're going to be good with that. But why not in good sportsmanship go, hey, coach, game hasn't started yet. This guy isn't on your travel roster, right? You plan on pitching. You plan on pitching him like he's not on your travel roster. Like, you shouldn't get away with this, okay? So here's the deal. You can't pitch him.
Yeah.
Why don't you just say, You can't pitch him. And then he's ineligible for this game. Then let's go
like,
play.
Don't we
let's go play the ball game.
Yeah,
let's
don't
not
we want
set
to
it
play
up
baseball?
where we're gonna walk out the guy and throw one pitch and then gotcha.
Yeah,
You're like some. See, there you go.
This is
Get
for
the bleep machine out.
Don't do it. This is for the older crowd. This is a Billy Martin move. People remember the old manager in the big leagues, Yankees and whatever. Like the whole was involved in the pine tar incident. It's a Billy Martin move, and I'm with you. Like, this is college, right? Do you want your guys to get
reps,
get to play?
Get to
right.
play. Let's play
That
ball.
is what I'm saying.
Let them decide it. So I'm with you. Even if you know this, right? And you're like, oh, this is a competitive advantage. Let's wait. Let's let him throw. Go out. He can't pitch anymore. Even if you did that, I'm fine with that.
Me too.
I'm fine with that. But then let's let the boys play. Like let's let him go and play the rest of the game, and Belair just can't go.
Yeah, but my point is, if you know that it's a forfeit by rule in Conference USA, right, and you know if he throws that one pitch by rule, it's a forfeit.
Yeah.
Right. So if I know that as the opposing coach, I'm just not going to let that happen. Yeah. I'm going to go to him before and say, listen, you're going to have to you screwed it up. Right. So you're going to have to get some type of punishment.
Figure it out.
You have to figure it out. He's not pitching.
Right.
Okay, so if now you better find somebody else. But we're playing the ball game.
Yeah, because that in itself is a competitive advantage for Jack State still, because Ben Blair's the ace. For sure. Throw someone else, but you can't throw him, and that just I just go back to
it seems an extreme punishment
let's play ball.
For the crime.
Yeah,
it's an extreme punishment.
And at the same time, also Conference USA needs to look at that. You said they're one of how many conferences?
I don't know how.
Not very many.
Folks I talked to said that they didn't think that forfeiture was a punishment in a lot of other.
Yeah, I mean that's heavy. But at the same time, you also, in their defense, can't mess it up.
Got to get it
that's
right.
That's the bottom line.
On a positive note, Jackson Sorsen has continued to just be on fire for the Flames. He helped lead the Flames to victory in the 10th inning on Friday night's game. So great that he's continuing to produce.
Where are the Flames standing in the conference?
So this is my next point, and this is because look at your midweek success. Look at these wins: NC State,
boom,
Duke.
Oh, those are two of the greatest wins in the history of baseball.
Wake Forest and Virginia. Versus your conference struggles, Matt mentioned a 2-4 record. And when we called the game against Virginia on Tuesday, Coach LaCroix mentioned, it's me as a coach. I need to help them get fired up for these conference games, not just the big ranked teams that we play midweek. And it's
listen, if this past weekend doesn't light a fire underneath you, and apparently there was a lot of fire happening between the two teams in that third game.
Right.
Yeah, it needs to get them going. They're 2-4 right now, tied for what would be second to last. They play Middle Tennessee this weekend. They're also 2-4. So only 8. You don't even want to go down this road. But Liberty hosts the conference tournament this year. 8 of the 10 teams go. The bottom 2 don't. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at positioning yourself to try to not have to win the conference tournament at the end, being your only route to the postseason, you got to start stringing some conference wins together. You got to start winning some of these games and win some of these series. The crazy part, too, is they've won the first game of each of these series. If you win that game, your odds of winning a series go up dramatically. You just got split the last 2, and they haven't quite been able to do. Obviously, weird circumstances in this last series. But it's time to get rolling, and hopefully this brings them together more so than something like this causing guys to start to splinter off and point fingers and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to see that.
I'm hoping that won't happen. The Flames are on the road at Charlotte on Tuesday, and then like Matt mentioned, hosting Middle Tennessee back at Worthington Field this weekend. So hopefully they come back home and they're just all right, and they hand it to Middle Tennessee. So be sure to come out and support your Flames for that. If you were watching softball this weekend and you're like, wow, this just sounds so much better, might be because Matt Warner was on the call.
He's unbelievable.
Did you enjoy?
You didn't have to say that, but I did really enjoy softball. That was a blast. Softball's fun. It is so fast.
You should get a softball field at the yacht compound.
You can do it.
Yeah, you have home run derbies out there.
Yeah, home run derbies.
Speaking of home run derbies, Rachel Roop, for those of you that haven't gone out and watched Liberty softball and watched Rachel Roop, you're missing. This is maybe the best player that's ever come through this program.
Yeah.
She hit 3 home runs that One is just like a moonshot.
That's called bada bang.
She hit.
It's at the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah, right.
That's
She
bada
hit
bang.
a line drive that I don't know how tall the wall is, 7 feet or something.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been more than 8 feet the whole way.
Wow.
Just line drive right over the wall. And then
Bada boom.
then she walked off the final game with another just moonshot home run. She is unbelievable. KK Madrey, who we're going to talk to, is so much fun to watch. This team is really, really good. So if you haven't watched them yet, they've won. Here's the stat for you. They have started stats that matter. I need a theme song.
Yeah.
Numbers that matter.
Numbers that matter. Sorry.
Gosh, no one knows anything
Numbers that
around
matter.
this podcast.
2 numbers that matter.
Give it to us.
This Liberty team now the fastest team ever to 30 wins in program history.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Wow, what's their overall record?
31-6.
They're 11-0 in conference play.
Stop.
They join the 2013 Tulsa team, we all remember them, as the only teams to start CUSA play 11-0. No one has ever gone 12-0 in the history. In the great history of Conference USA softball, no one has ever started 12-0.
I know, the broadcaster curse.
So Liberty has a chance. Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Don't you put that evil on me,
You guys
Ricky
have
Bobby.
too much chemistry.
They have a chance to do something that's never been done. It's never been done in this conference's history if they can win their next conference game.
Listen, I'm worried about Virginia Tech right
now.
But
Virginia Tech first on.
This Virginia Tech thing upsets me because of the no-hitter last time.
Well, once you listen to the confidence of KK Madrey, you won't need to worry about Virginia Tech. Here's our conversation with her. We have a hot shot with us here today. KK
Hot shot alert.
Yes.
Madrey.
Hot shot alert.
Madrey?
No.
Madrey.
We've got it sorted out.
We got it sorted out because this is a very big debate. Even in the Madrey household, we don't even know how to say the last name.
Yeah. But
is that right?
But this is you get to make the call. So once and for all,
we're going to say Madrey.
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 Listen, I think you've reached this.
Stand up for your
father. Yeah. You've
Stand
reached
up for your father. It's his name.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm going to do.
You've reached the star status where you get to decide now.
But you know what the problem is? Why are you so angry all the time?
Well,
you weren't even here when she was talking about this.
Mad.
Yeah. That's why we didn't want it to be mad. My mom was like, Madrey, something like more uplifting.
Madrey.
Yeah.
Now you're French.
Like, yeah, that's why I was like, we're doing something. They're not even going to know what ethnicity I am.
Yeah.
It's gonna...
Bonjour, madame.
Yeah.
Comment ça va? Oh, ça va bien.
Didn't see this interview taking that turn.
Yeah, this early.
This early, at least. Yeah.
I did see it. But KK, what a season you guys have had so far.
Her name is Kaylin.
Okay, see, now we're getting even.
There's a lot of names to go around with KK, but I like KK. KK is like,
everybody calls her KK.
Yeah.
You guys are off to a hot start this season. 11-0 in conference play. 4 straight conference sweeps. I mean, does it get boring?
Never.
No.
I mean, all the hit, like when you're able to just hit and boom, 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 all the balls going over the fence. Yeah. It'll never get old. I promise you.
That's awesome. What do you think is the secret for this team this season of why there's been so much success?
I think our team camaraderie, like everyone is very close knit. Like we hang out outside of the softball like world, and we're always calling each other, or we have like a big like Snapchat group chat that we're always texting and just updating on the day or anything crazy we see at the field, and we're taking videos of it. So
that's awesome.
I want to ask you, because I've asked Dot about this, but I want to get your take. You're hitting 448, leading the team, 3rd best in all of Conference USA. What's been the biggest difference for you at the plate from last year or the past couple of years to now this season where you are just nearly unstoppable?
I feel like, well, it's kind of started with Sammy, my coach. I've always had an issue with seeing the positives in everything I bring. Like sometimes I'll forget like all the different tools I have. Like I'm fast, like I still have pop. Like, I have pretty good like softball IQ and stuff. And just bringing that into the game, and even if I get out one time, that doesn't mean that like now I suck. Like I have another at bat to go, and then I'm able to just flip it around pretty quickly. And I feel like my parents also play a big role in like just making sure like they check in on me, or like my dad has been with me my whole life with like my softball stuff, so he knows certain things with my swing, and he'll even text me a little snippet like, hey, stay back on this, or keep your hands a little bit higher because you tend to pop the ball up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think having like the coaching side and also like my parents' side and it all finally coming together is really.
So, but the mental side has been
yes,
big. And just finally maybe probably believing what all these people have been telling you all along.
I'm like, oh, okay, I see it now.
Yeah, yeah, maturity.
Yeah,
it's maturity.
Yeah,
right.
That's part. We try to teach that to Emily here because what we do is you look yourself in the mirror and you say, "I'm special. People like me."
KK, do you feel bad for me?
And by golly, I am good at what I do.
Yeah.
Emily practices that every morning in the mirror. That we have her say that, and so that's what you've been
flag
doing.
Of it if you
that's
want me
what
to
you've been
send
doing
you.
lately.
Please.
Yeah. We can actually put it like in your little visor.
I
thing.
have all kinds of stuff in my room on my
See,
wall.
it's all right
like,
there.
I have
Emily,
to-
see?
Yeah.
You guys are special. People do like you. So now, when you're standing up there, now tell me a little bit about your game. I mean, you're fast. You already said you're fast, right? So are you like just trying to punch it down and find that little gap in there? Are you swinging for the fences at time? Does it depend on who you're pitching against? Do you have the power game? Give the folks a little explanation of what your game really is. What do you see your game being?
That might be a little bit of a mediocre question.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Wow.
She
Whoa,
gets the show.
KK. Welcome to the Flame Central podcast.
That's the first time
that
we've ever,
hurt.
but no, that
hurt a little bit.
Now, welcome to my life.
That was,
Everyone always tells them good questions. And I'm just like,
That one might have hurt a little bit.
oh, that was great, KK.
Yeah, that was
You
perfect.
came through. So tell us about your game. Great question, Emily.
I feel like when I get in there, I kind of more rely on my speed. Like, I know I don't have to hit it over the fence to, like, produce runs and stuff for the team. Like, obviously, if there's runners in scoring position, I can just think ground ball up the middle. It's going to score somebody. Like, no one on our team is running a 5 flat to home. Yeah. So, but I also feel that with my speed, okay, if I get a single, I could steal to second. Yeah. I could steal third, and we might even try doing a delayed steal home. Like, we've tried to do it multiple times.
Have you ever done that? You ever steal first, second, third, all the way home?
I've done it when I was at LSU. I did it one of the times, like I base ran and stuff. I don't remember if I've done it here, but in travel ball, for sure, every game.
Yeah,
that
was
awesome.
Easy.
So you're the fastest girl on the team?
Yes.
Or is that still up for debate?
She said that was
I mean, I haven't raced. Aubrey is probably our close second, but I still, I feel like speed is probably the one that I'm most confident in. Like, I don't ever question.
Okay, so in softball, when you have a pitcher, and my softball is pretty expansive, but
yeah, it's right up there with field hockey.
Hey, I put the pack line defense in field hockey, so let's stop with that. And so, do you have certain pitchers, if you have enough power, do you have certain pitchers that you face, like where you change your batting style? Where it's hey, I think that I can hit home runs on there. Are you going to a game, even your other teammates, you go into a game, you think, hey, we can hit home runs as a person? Or is it like, hey, they're really good and we just got to get the ball on the ground, trying to find gaps? Does it depend, or is pitching pretty similar across the board?
I feel like it depends. And I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I feel like most people probably would say the same thing. Or if it's like a faster pitcher, sometimes our coach will be like, hey, widen your stance and like don't take as big of a stride, so you can just start right here, boom, and just go. Because if they're pitching fast enough, you could do a check swing and probably it could still go to the fence.
Still could go to the fence,
yeah.
right.
Especially if a lot of us are already strong, like.
Yeah. I do love softball. It's such a fun game.
It is a blast.
It is a really, really fun game. No knock on baseball, but it just moves.
Yeah, it's a lot quicker.
I'm not going to go down that road. Yeah. So we did a bunch of hot seats and filmed with the girls before this season, and it's just funny, like hearing people say like we're doing one about who you would not want to be stranded on an island with, and I don't know if we're going to be able to roll this so we can talk about this, but a certain player was like, not Dot. I just can't do the rah-rah, especially if we're like starving. And,
Listen,
and I'm like, I kind of feel like
they have great chemistry right now. Are you sure you want to go down there?
No.
So, don't you turn on Dot.
Like, how is it to have Dot? Because I think I would love it with the positivity around me all the time. But this player loves Dot.
Yeah,
yes, I do need the positivity. But how refreshing is it to be around someone and be coached by somebody like Dot, who is just constantly positive regardless of the situation?
I love it. I think it's the perfect kind of coach to have for something like softball where there's just so much failure, like often over and over again. But she likes to say it's not failure if you learn. You're you're a winner.
Oh,
you know?
somebody else.
There
said
are
that.
lessons in losing.
There's so many lessons.
This is my.
You can
what I
always take it to the
That's
next
her life
game.
motto.
Yeah, I fail a lot.
There's lessons in losing.
But yeah, I think the positivity, at least for me, that's what kind of like I was looking for, especially when I decided to transfer. I need that kind of like positivity in my life. I don't really like when people are just,
Yeah,
you know.
shows like that all the time.
And the camera, you should see when the camera's off. It's off.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the speed. Right now, you're 4th in the nation in stolen bases. Woo! 29 for 33. I guess 2 questions here. Do you remember more the ones you get or the ones where you get thrown out?
when I get thrown out.
Yeah.
Those
And
ones
I
stick
think
with
that
you, don't
every
they?
time when I
man.
get on the base now, and I'm like, I have to sprint as hard as I can. But I was like, I can't leave early because they'll be looking for it. Because every team we play, I
bet.
hear their coach, they're like, why aren't you leaving early? I was like, if anything, I leave late. And
Yeah.
I still get there. So I would definitely say I think more about the ones that I get out on. But it's always a perfect throw to the bag, which most of the times it's not because they're usually rushing. But
Right.
if it's a perfect throw, it might be.
My other question is, do you know, because you're approaching, do you know what the program record is in a single season?
I kept hearing something on the when I was rewatching one of the games. I don't know if they said 40 something or 50.
41.
41.
41.
What are you at?
She's at 29. Katie Zavadny, that was in 2013. So
Katie Savani's going down.
what? Yeah, what? Yeah, sorry.
I know.
Sorry,
I
hate to
Katie.
break it to you, Kate.
What would that mean though for you? Like, because this is like such a huge part of your game. Like, is that something you have as a goal?
I definitely, and also my parents talked about it. If I break any kind of record or something, they would get me a new car.
Whoa!
Oh!
We'll see if they're starting to hold up to it.
Yeah.
But
That's good.
I
I'm
don't
glad
know.
you put that out there
Yeah.
here because that kind of holds their feet to the fire a little bit. Like,
Yes.
hey,
One of
it's
them
out
better be
publicly.
getting it. I don't
Right.
know who. Or
Yeah.
Madrey,
Joint
Madrey,
payment, I don't know.
Madrey,
Yeah.
whatever it
Madrey.
is. Okay, so we gotta what kind of car are we doing?
Well, I have a Mercedes right now, but I want a newer one.
Oh,
It doesn't have to be
Okay.
brand new.
Matt,
Can I have your old one? Yeah.
Can I have the whole-
Man, I'm pulling for
Oh,
you
you
to
can have
break
this
this
whole-
record.
Yeah.
you can have this old clunker.
Yeah.
Here you go,
Okay.
Matt. Take this old
KK. All right.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Let's talk about what you guys have up next. Virginia Tech on Wednesday.
Ooh.
Which, by the way, real quick,
They put the smackdown
the
on you
Softball
once.
America poll that came out just this morning, they're 12th. Liberty is 20th.
Yeah.
And you said it, Joe. They kind of took it to us at our home field earlier this year.
Yeah. Oh, in our house. And now you're going to Blacksburg?
Yeah.
Let's go. It's time for a little
Yeah,
bit
we're
of
gonna do what they've tried to do.
revenge is
What
best
they did
served
to
in a
us.
dish that is cold. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay, I'll see if you can do the pregame
I-
speech. I'm not sure,
I don't
Josh.
do great with pregame speeches. My pregame speeches are really good. I've done a few of them.
Yeah,
but we
you
don't.
did it
we
for the volleyball team.
we don't
They got
win.
swept in the
Yeah,
CUSA
yeah, we don't win a lot of
tournament,
games.
So don't come anywhere near.
But they're really good. I promise you, they're good.
They're so thought-provoking
Yeah.
that the team leaves not really focused on the game so
Yeah.
much and more so on what he was saying. Yeah.
So what's the game plan going into Virginia Tech?
Keep it simple. And I feel like whenever a team scores on us first, we tend to get down immediately, even though it's the first inning and we have 6 more innings to go. Hopefully, like if they don't. score
Well,
three
not
runs,
really
but-
what you guys have. You guys have been playing. I mean, 5, 6 innings
Yeah, I know.
with all the
But
runs you guys are scoring.
I think we have to keep a strong mental. Like the game is very much mental, and usually they pitch Limley every time we play them. We've seen her a million times. At some point, it's going to connect.
Yeah.
And they'll have to take her out, put someone else in, and we take them out. They have to keep going and
Let's
going
go.
until
I like
they
this
have
plan.
nothing left.
I like this plan.
So,
Well, good.
that's-
Let's look for that on.
I mean, that was if correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer right now because we're staying positive. We're all about being positive. But correct me if I'm wrong. Was that a no-hitter last time they played them? I think it might have been
Joe
Joe.
Carmody, is that he's
Joe?
nodding?
Yeah, he's nodding
Reluctantly
back
nodding.
there. Don't tell me
Yeah.
Yacht Talk doesn't know softball.
Wow.
That was a no-hitter last time. So let's
yeah.
get those
bounce
bats
back.
correct.
we
The
need to
bounce
get you the
back.
Sam's Club version of Skittles.
Oh,
KK
Yes.
loves
Explain
her
this.
Skittles.
That's your pregame routine.
Pregame.
Yes.
Eating Skittles.
Yes.
How did this happen?
And you like the purple ones, right? Is that what I remember? I was like,
I think-
purple?
yeah.
Why not give me all the
I
red
like 'em.
then?
I think, I don't know how long ago, like since I was young, my mom used to buy me Skittles quite often before all my games, like whether it was softball, basketball, track, all that stuff. She would always give me a little pack and I'd eat that because I would get like super nervous. Like, I wouldn't know the difference between going out and playing and, like, being held to gunpoint. Like, it just is like a fight or flight for me most of the time.
Really?
So, yeah, so the Skittles really...
Skittles have a calming influence.
Yes,
so
it's like a
good
reverse.
dose of hard sugar.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like
I feel like there's an NIL deal coming through here. Let's go.
So.
Yeah, you need to get
With
on
how much
it.
you're on SportsCenter, get like a little Skittles spat or
Mm-hmm.
patch on your jersey. Hey,
Sponsored
Love
by
that.
Skittles.
I'm telling you, I
yeah.
need to be an agent these
yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, hey, I may start trying to eat some Skittles before our broadcast and just see how that
I'm
does.
telling you, I think it'll help.
It's like, yeah.
I can't fit anything, so I'm not getting. I'm not eating Skittles.
See what we
KK,
have to
so
listen
fun
to.
to watch you guys this season. Talk about lessons in losing.
Oh.
You guys got so close last year. What is it that you guys learned from that experience last year that you're going to be able to take it the farthest this program has ever gone?
I think that we can beat any team. Like, once you're finally there and you're actually playing like those teams, because we don't get to play like top 25 like every weekend like all the SEC and all those other schools do. So we have to go from playing like kind of lower level and then randomly middle of the week playing this team, then lower level again playing this team. So I think as long as we can remember, we've beat big teams before. This is nothing new. We've been in this situation before. Don't have to let the moment get too big, because it's not. It's just like any other game we've been playing all year.
You got to beat this Virginia Tech team.
I know.
This is a big one. This is a big one because I got a buddy of mine.
No pressure.
I got
No,
a buddy of mine. We're in a group text together. And Virginia Tech as a university has 0 team national championships.
I think they have bass fishing.
That's a club sport.
I'm serious. I think
they
there
do.
only
they
is
do
bass
have,
fishing.
but they do have bass fishing.
Em
but
is real
it's
big
club
into the
sport.
club sport
Right,
bass
yeah.
fishing scene.
Bass and club sport.
Yeah.
So, but here's what he does to
Delicious
me.
bass.
Here's what he does. Whenever Virginia Tech beats Liberty at something, he sends me the end box score, like the Twitter thing they put out or whatever. And I got that one last time.
So you want to send him something
so
back
yeah,
this
so
way.
if you could get the W,
yeah.
let's get.
So you're not
back
saying
in-
you're going to be the bigger man, and you're
No,
not. You're
no,
saying
no,
you
no,
want
no.
to give it right back.
I want to just
Yeah.
go right back in.
Even lower.
And I want you to be on the cover of that
Yeah.
that 7-0 win. Flames
Oh
pull
my
it out
gosh, I
over
love it.
Virginia Tech.
Let's do it.
Let's
I
do
love
it.
KK, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck the rest of the season. Great to have you on. Oh, wait, one more thing.
Yeah, come on, KK.
One more thing.
We have all our
Look at
athletes
that.
do this.
So you're going to look
a
into this
gorgeous
camera
mom.
here.
Yeah. First off, how
Tell me how
gorgeous
gorgeous
That's
that
cute.
is that?
is.
Thank
I like
you.
that.
I made it. The editing I had to do on them was extensive.
She's
but,
told everybody like 25 times.
Yeah.
But anyways,
you're watching the Flames Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage. And
do
it's
right
it's down
Okay.
there.
You can read that. You
And
look
you'll
right.
look into the heart of America.
Listen, all America is watching right here.
Tell with you with
Say
some
it one more
dual.
time.
You're watching the
The-
Flames Central podcast,
You're watching the Flames.
powered, and you've got to give it a little
So it's
oomph on that.
basically everything on
Yeah, everything on there. Yes,
That's
you
all.
got it. You got it. Yeah.
Go,
Okay,
KK.
yeah, so that's your cheat sheet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2.
You are watching the Flames Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was smooth.
Awesome.
That was
Very
smooth.
smooth.
Yeah.
KK, thanks again.
Good luck this week.
Go
Thank
KK.
you.
Go KK. Get busy. Go KK. You don't want.
That's good way to end. Yeah.
Love it.
I loved having on KK.
great.
She's great. And I just, like I said, love the confidence. I'm going to have to start like getting all like the sign, see what signs she has
She
in her
could
bathroom.
maybe be a
and-
mentor for you.
Yeah,
Like maybe
she-
a life coach or something.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah,
not a
like
bad
like
idea.
you guys aren't enough.
Well,
No, we're more.
Listen.
We're more of a put down.
well,
coaches.
I got to tell you,
Yeah.
it's exhausting for us. So I'm just thinking maybe we get a
This
little bit of
isn't
a
easy.
break.
This isn't
It's
easy.
like,
love.
it's like you're a doctor on call 24/7.
I don't know if you guys are the brothers that I love or if the brothers that I like hate. And I
that's
can't
fair.
wait to, yeah.
That's fair.
No, so really exciting to see what Liberty softball is doing this season. And man, these girls, they love to play for
So
God. and-
when is the next home
Friday.
game?
They're here this weekend.
This Friday. What time is that game?
Friday,
We
I'm
got
looking
nice
at
warm weather
Yep.
game.
Oh, yeah.
5 o'clock Friday.
Okay.
4 o'clock Saturday, and
Okay.
11 a.m. Sunday. A little earlier on Sunday, they're hosting Middle Tennessee. So Middle Tennessee is here playing softball and baseball this
oh,
weekend.
wow.
Oh, it's the double whammy.
They're both playing.
double
So, yeah, a
whammy.
lot of ball this weekend.
Bravo.
Yeah, and hopefully the weather holds up because I do think
Oh, really?
that it was supposed to be some bad weather this weekend. But
Really?
we'll see.
Really?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Do you
Matt has a fun fact.
Hold on. First, do you want our Flame Central Podcast Bracket Challenge update?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I know you guys are wondering about my ranking. Oh, man, I was 8th. Oh, because I had
How many people?
I had Michigan State.
You're in
going
12th
to Auburn,
right now,
so
right?
I'm in 12th.
You're in
yeah.
12th. I am currently, I'm tied with you in 12th.
Yeah.
As well. Joe did not submit a bracket. The first place.
Joe, Joe, did you always like turn in homework late?
Yeah,
you did.
He was that guy.
Yeah.
I feel like I did that project.
I did that homework.
Yeah.
Wait.
No.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't? Yeah. Yeah.
Does Reese turn in? Look at
He has a
that.
history of
Guilty
that,
as charged.
Yeah, well,
Reese
this morning we were getting ready to take Reese to school.
when you were in the conversation room?
We were in the conversation. No, this is before the conversation room. Where Dina said, Reese, where's your homework folder? And he said, oh, I left it at school. She said, well, I asked you 2 times last week to get your homework folder. You can't do that. Yeah. And I thought to myself, while I was pouring my cup of coffee, my Flame Central podcast mug, powered by Alcova Mortgage, I thought to myself, boy, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Right. Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I love it.
First place in the top 99.3
Gator bait.
percentile, Gator Bait.
Gator bait.
So if you're Gator Bait, let us know. You know who's in second? The Snell scoring system. Our buddy
See?
Jeff
Of course
Snell.
he is.
Of course he is.
He's
You know
crunched the
what?
numbers.
I picked Florida to win it all,
Yeah.
but I think Duke is going to take it.
Stop.
So
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I just want to say, I'm not out of this thing yet because I'm the only person
That
at
picked
this level that's
Houston.
picked Houston.
Yeah.
If Houston wins it all,
Boy, they put
I might be able to
lockdown.
steal this thing. I've got, who do I have in the final? Houston, Auburn final. So if I got that, I had taken Texas Tech over Florida. That would have been huge if I got that.
Yeah.
But so I could still possibly steal this thing if it goes that route.
I mean,
Okay, so Florida plays Auburn. Okay.
Yeah,
If that happens, I will hand deliver you a mug.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a whole box of them in my office right now. But yeah, that'd be nice.
deliver it out of
you
the
can pick
box,
it out of the
you know?
box
Yeah,
and hand it to me.
Hey, if you want to win a mug, you hopefully can through
Yes.
our bracket challenge, or you can submit a question to flamecentral@liberty.edu. If we like your question the best, we send you one of these beautiful mugs.
They are unbelievable.
So, and
Tall
they're
mug.
large,
They're
tall
mug.
mug.
Big mug.
Joe
Think
did
of
not.
all the conversation you can have while you sip.
yeah,
on
it's
the
Yeah,
conversation.
not in the sunroom, though. Not in the
Last
sunroom.
thing, I saw this morning. Just a little fun fact. You know, I need to do more of on this dates. Everybody loves the on this dates.
Oh, yeah, let's
right
see.
in history. On this date,
On this date,
March 31st,
it's the 31st
30
of
years
March.
ago, the cinematic classic
This,
Tommy Boy was released.
Oh, Tommy Boy.
that
Isn't
guy in a little coat.
I actually did that this weekend.
Oh, wow.
With-
Okay, well.
With one of my coaches.
A lot of people go to college for 7
Wait.
years. Yeah, they're called doctors. Yeah, that whole line. You know?
Didn't they
doesn't
have the
hurt
dead
here.
deer?
Yeah, we're here.
Right here.
Yeah.
Didn't they have the dead deer in the back
Yes,
too?
that
That's coming
was
alive.
Awesome. Total classic. 30 years.
So many. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, 30 years. Man.
Maybe that can be our Halloween bit next year.
If I was a butcher,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there's so many good moments in that. All right, I'm also gonna look at what else happened. Not
Oh,
History
on the
Channel.
fly?
Oh, 1889, the Eiffel Tower opened in Paris.
oh,
There we
Okay,
go.
well, that, Tommy Boy, take your pick.
Yeah.
I'll take Tommy
yeah,
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. I think I'm
I
just
think that's
I'm
it.
just
I
looking
think
at
we've
like
exhausted
all
our,
these awesome things
yeah.
that happened on this date. April Fool's tomorrow, so be sure
Oh.
to play a prank on someone that you love. I think that's it for the Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage. Be sure to check us out next week. I'm sure we'll have another great guest. For Joe and Matt, I'm Emily. We'll see you then.